Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Company 2160. I hope you guys are doing okay. So far, so good. Is there any question before we starting? Any question about your assignment or anything else? I have some updates. I already posted a skeleton type for your assignment number 4. You will get it on on inside of assignment number 4. So many of you requested like it's better if you have an skeleton like assignment number 3. So I just provide so you can have a look. I put many comments so that it will help you. Okay. So another thing is that I also uploaded the solution of assignment number 3. So you can also have a look if you are not sure like how you can implementation details like for container.c. You can also have a look at the solution of assignment number 3. Okay, so this is our last class, right? So we talked about strategies for detecting and handling errors in C, basically nothing, using just run and test, right? And then we comparing and contrast strategies for detecting and handling errors with different languages like Java, Python, Swift, right? Okay, so today's class basically we're going for identify the use of design by contract in real world software. Okay, also we'll go for high or low coupling and cohesion in real world software, also how information hiding is used to reduce coupling, and then at last we'll go for examples of automated testing in real world software. So we'll go for some case studies today. Okay, so before starting, I have some announcement to give. I already uploaded one PDF regarding your co-op info and intake process of 2020, since this is kind of affected by COVID-19. So you will get details information there, like when to start or what you should look for, all the things, like it's like 24 slides. So you can have a look there. Also, there is a virtual town hall type things with Dean, okay, and it will be happening on April 8, 11 a.m. Clear? So why this virtual town hall? Basically, you can ask any question regarding your grade. So all of you got an email, I think, right? So I forgot to ask, is the slide you can see and my sound is clear, everyone? Okay, great. So what options you have until May 10 when the grade are released? Okay, so you have three options basically. One is just default, like whatever the grade you receive, you accept the grade and you are using that grade for calculating your GPA. Okay, so another option is that you are accepting the grade but you are not allowing that grade to calculate your GPA. This is the second option. The last option is that you can just have on your transcript like either pass or fail, nothing else. So it will not give you a particular letter grade in your transcript. Okay, and this grade will not be used for your GPA calculation. Okay, so these are the three options. Okay, so now if you have any kind of confusion, any kind of question, you can meet in this virtual town hall with Dean and ask any question. Okay, so the thing is that whatever the grade you are getting for prerequisite things, there is no change. So if some course prerequisite wants that you have to have A grade in Com 2160, okay, so you have to have it. So there is no consideration in the prerequisite things for this grade calculation, appearance of the grade. Okay, clear? Any questions so far? So this is due to the COVID-19 things. Okay, this changing of the grade, like appearance of the grade, or decision about how you represent your grade in your transcript. Clear? Okay, so let's start then. So what we are going to do today, we are going to review concepts from the course. by finding them in real world production software. So we are going to use two software basically. One is SQLite and there is curl and libcurl. So SQLite, so let me uh, introduce that SQLite thing. So yeah, so this is actually the SQLite open source code. So you can see all of the code, and this is made by C programming language, and this is your curl. Okay, so what we are doing here basically, since SQLite, it's a relational database management system. Okay, so it's used in Android and iOS both. So it's kind of popular. So maybe you are indirectly using it because you have a cell phone, maybe with iOS or Android, or you have the laptop running on iOS, right? So this is basically you are indirectly using it. Okay, so what is this actually? It's basically this is programming with SQL. So what is that actually? A set-based declarative programming language. So it depends upon what kind of, so suppose you have a data set or database. Suppose depending upon certain criteria, you want to get some result. Okay, so suppose I want to know, suppose if the table is an employee table, I want to know how many employees are working full time and the salary is greater than 60,000 per year. So this is kind of an example of SQL. Okay, clear? So you will learn more about this in Comp 3380, the database concept and uses theory, also in Comp 3350 software engineering 1. So the thing is that we are not going to learn anything about this SQLite or SQL. We'll just go to their open source code. We'll apply whatever we learned so far. Okay. So suppose like what did you what we so far we already learned like how we can do things before designing the code, or whenever we're designing the code, like the design by contract things like precondition, postcondition, invariant things, right? How to prevent error whenever you are coding or solving a particular problem, right? And then whenever the coding part is done, whenever you are going to sell it to the market, before release it, you need to test all the things, right? And that is your kind of, you are testing like preventing error also, right? So before releasing, so whenever you are coding, you are doing the design by contract to prevent error. Whenever you are releasing, before releasing also you are testing to prevent the errors, right? Okay, so this is all about the SQLite things, like what you need to do. I will describe it later also. So what about the curl? So curl and libcurl, these are, so curl is a tool or libcurl is a library for, these are all using for transferring the data. So these things actually using in many operating system like Linux, Ubuntu. Nowadays also it includes in Windows. So interesting thing is that this is also using inside your car. So let me open this link. So we can see that do you have car in device installed in another brand car? So all of this car, okay. So transferring data, it uses car. Clear? So again, we are not interested in how this language work or anything. You will learn more about this in Com 3010, distributed computing, theory or application of protocols. We will just use again this library to do some example of coupling, cohesion, and automated testing. Okay, clear? So any questions so far? Okay, so now I will give you 8 minutes to try find the examples of design by contract in SQLite. So you can follow this link. Okay, so whenever you go to this link, so what you can do, you can search here anything that related to the design by contract keyword. Okay, so you can search anything here, you will get many examples or many result. Okay, another thing you can do whenever you are going to a particular code, suppose this, and then if you want to mention a particular line, so you can just click. Okay, so if you click and that's your link, so we can directly go to that particular line of that code. Okay, so if you click any line, like a link will be generated, so you can post that link directly in your forum also. Clear? So what we are going to do, we are going to you are going to actually the find the precondition, postcondition, and invariant. Okay, so I already created some forum in your discussion link. So so this is this is where you can go. Okay, so your time start now. You have 8 minutes to find out the DBC in SQLite and post it here. Okay. Also a little description like why do you think like this is an example of either precondition or postcondition or invariant. You can also write some words here. If you have any question, you can post on the comment box also, like the chat box. Okay, so we have just 1 minute left. Okay, so we can see what you guys choose for DVC in a SQLite. So far, two posts. Okay, so the first one is not sure, so rather than we can go Matthew's post. Okay, so we can see the precondition at line 242, 243. I think they are precondition because they are checking input. Line 263, we can see the invariant. Let's see. So 242 and 243. So this is a function SQLite 3 hash insert. This is a void pointer. Then we have a pointer hash type. Then we have a fixed char pointer. Then a void pointer. So what it is doing is described here, and then we can see that it's at first checking whether our hash pointer not equal to 0 or not. So whatever we do normally, like not equal to null or not, same thing, right? So this is for sure, this is a precondition. Also we are checking this p key, that is maybe kind of primary key, I believe. uh, Yes, so this cannot be null, so this is also a precondition for sure. Yes. Uh, Correct answer for precondition. Then you're saying in line number 262 or 263, there is a assert using this is I don't think this is an invariant because we are not checking, rather than we this can be an example of the post condition, right? So after this function returning, right, we are checking some post condition type, right? Okay, so I will not say this is invariant, rather than I will say it's more chance to have the post condition. Okay, so let's see whoever is not sure what's his or her idea about this. Line 721. This is a very long code, right? So at first, many different things. What is this basically? This is an array containing so much number. Okay, so we can see, yes, there are some assert statement, right? So so at first it's checking whether we are having two argument or not, right? So whenever you have this function, this SQL uncompressed function or something, we have coming the like the argument coming from like command line things, right? Okay, arguments argc and argv. So at first it's checking like whether we're getting those two argument or not. So this is for sure, this is a precondition things, right? Then what we have so far, no more assert. Okay, so we got just one precondition things, right? Okay, so no example about So we can give a vote for this thing. So what about the invariant? No one find any example of the invariant. What you can do, it's very easy, right? You can just search invariant there, you will find lots of. Okay, so so precondition on line 34, post condition dbc in delete.c, post condition on line 72. It's better if you can give a link, or we can search for here. Okay, so delete.c, and this is the line you were saying, line 34. So what you could do for the next example, you can just click here and you will get this link. Okay, so for sure this is a function where checking SQLite script or source list lookup. uh, Parts may be structure type pointer at first, and then another kind of pointer, and at first we are checking whether this structure pointer and this particular node equal to 1 or not. This is for sure a precondition. And then you are saying that line number 72, table reads only. So you're saying another good example of DBC. What kind of? Is it precondition, postcondition, or invariant? So you are saying postcondition on line 72. Yeah, for sure it's a postcondition. We're checking this and this is true or not. And what is this p tab? P tab basically a table type pointer, and then there are some operation going on for p tab for sure, and then we are checking something. So for sure it's a post condition. Then you are saying another lines 117 and 122. 117 is here. But checking this assert things most, so this is kind of post condition also, right? So you are having idea about precondition and post condition. What about invariant? So can give the output for this one for sure. Precondition we already checked a lot, or no no invariant so far. No. Okay, so let's search invariant. So the invariant was false, kind of invariant is true. So you can see some example, right? So let me check. So in this function, you can say that even in the function name, we are saying that SQLite 3, then some check memory invariant. Okay, and there you have lots of assert and checking. So this is an example of invariant. Okay, clear? So also in the comment, it's saying that check invariant on a memory object. This routine is intended for use inside of assert things. Okay, clear? Any questions so far? So you have like the practical example of the TBC, right? Like the precondition, postcondition, invariant. So now I like you to find the example of coupling and cohesion. So before doing that, who can say what is coupling and what is cohesion? What is the difference between them? If you can remember. Okay, at first, what is coupling? Can anyone remember what is coupling? Okay, so coupling is like in your code, Matthew said how dependent a module is on other module. So rather than module, it can be any function, it can be any variable also, right? What do you mean by module? Okay, so yeah, so that's the thing, like, so you are using a particular variable. If you are using that variable in other files, that means this is a high coupling things, right? So if you are using a function in your file and that function you are kind of importing or using in another file, that means it's high coupling, right? So now what is cohesion? Who can say that? So whenever you have written the code, so it can be like in a file you are just put a single file only for a single purpose. So think about string.h. Okay, so you will see all the functions related to a string, nothing else, right? So suppose you can get the function for calculating string length, maybe you will get the function for comparing string, maybe concatenation string, maybe string copy. So all the functions or all the code there, okay, so all are related to a particular thing, and that is the string. So we then say that this is highly cohesive because it's all the functions are relating to the string, right? So it's not like they are kind of independent to each other, or they are like a different concept. Okay, so if in your single file of code all the line of code or all the functions of your code related to each other or solving a particular definite problem, okay, so then we are saying this is highly cohesive. Okay, so now you can go to that link and find out the example of at first high cohesion and low cohesion, and then also high coupling and low coupling. The thing is that whenever you are finding a high coupling things, that means that this is low cohesion, right? Whenever you have high cohesion, that is low coupling, right? So they are kind of reverse to each other. Okay, so now they go to the forum and just in this link in card find out whenever you can see high cohesion or low cohesion or high coupling or low coupling. Okay, so again you have 8 minutes of time. So we have 2 minutes left. Also, if you answered the question like how the information hiding, like the static used either to reduce the coupling in curl and lip curl. So we know that whenever we are using static, that means the private only for that file. So no other file can use it, so we are reducing the coupling. Okay, so let us check. So high coupling in this URL. Okay, this look like it has a higher coupling in serious to introduce that many files are introducing functions from outside main.c. This is tool underscore main.c. We can see that it includes many header file like tool underscore setup.h, and these are kind of written uh, by the programmer, I think, because these are not like usual header file. So yes, this is high coupling because it uses many other files. You are right. So let us give import to this, and then the next one. I think that's the answer, right? And then a link. Line 44, the use of extern means is public and can be used in other files, therefore it is high coupling and low cohesion. 43, 44, line 44 of this file. Is there any extern here? I'm not sure which one you're representing here. Okay, yeah, I got it. So yes, this is extern. That means like it can be used by any other file. So it's represent like high coupling and low cohesion. Yes, you're right. Okay, Matthew. Yeah, I got it. So next, high coupling. Main files always take lots of include to function. Yeah, we already see it actually. Yes, the similar answer. Yes. and then the very last from Matthew, or maybe very first. Yeah. So look like this has high cohesion. It is very small file that does one specific thing. Let's see. Yes, like it's just like what it does basically. It's include some file at first, and then a constant char pointer, file name, mannerism, so get file name. hmm Yeah, so it does not do much work. So you can say high cohesion, but another thing is that it includes also another file, right? The header file. So you cannot say like that much high cohesion because like you are including another file here, right? Okay, clear? So did you guys find any kind of static things here? Okay, so let's check like do we have any kind of static keyword here? Yes, we have many. So let's open this one, line 31 and 32. Okay, so these are kind of a private. So what we're doing here using the static, right? So it's kind of we are hiding information, right? Clear? Using the static keyword. Even this function we are saying static, this function also saying static, all of the functions here is static. So this is a good info like file to look at how we are using static to do information hiding. Okay, clear? Any questions so far? Okay, so next we are going for the testing one. So again it can be in curl or it can be SQLite. So take 8 minutes, or maybe I will just let you 5 minutes. Okay, and then like whenever you are having kind of testing things, okay, just put it on the forum and also try to answer whether that's a white box testing or black box testing. So whatever we're doing in assignment number 3 or assignment number 4, what is that? Is that white box testing or black box testing? Can anyone answer that? Like what we're doing in assignment number 3, what we did, we have the interface file, we have the implementation file, right? So whenever you have the main file, so the thing is that only interface file is known to you, not the implementation details, right? That's black box. Okay, Matthew. So whenever you don't know the implementation details or structure, that's black box testing. And whenever you know all the things like implementation details, that's white box testing. Okay, clear? So if you find those kind of testing, also try to answer that. Like, is there that test is related to the black box testing or white box testing? So you have 5 minutes, or maybe you can just take 2 minutes. We have only 2 minutes left. You wrote all the implementation. That is like another task. Like you as a programmer and you as a user. Okay. So as a programmer, you write that implementation details, but whenever you are writing that main file, you acting as a user and you are testing the interface, not the implementation details. You don't have any idea about the container.c. You only have the yeah. Okay. So we have like 2 minutes. So or maybe we can just go through like you can just post the answer after this class and we'll go through the next class. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, so almost we are like the class time is over. So I will just take so maybe we'll go for these testing things, the last activity in the next class. We'll see examples in our forum. So for now, some of you asked in the forum that whether the percentage of your final exam and the all the things are going to be same or not. So maybe we can decide creating a poll like how many of you want like maybe increasing the percentage of your assignment and decreasing the percentage of your final exam. Okay, so I'm just creating a poll, and if you have any question by that time you can ask me. So Matthias, do you know if com 2150 is still going to run this summer? I know that yes, com 2150 will be there in summer. Online, yes, online. There is no way. Okay, I think you guys can see the poll, right? I'm not sure whether you can. Okay, maybe I can. I can do? I minimize this, and you can see the result of the poll. I think, right? So we have so far 24 participants. Someone asked, is the if there is an assert statement, how do you know if it is precondition or postcondition for sure? It depends. Whenever you will get the precondition for sure, it will be the very first of your code, right? Whenever you are going to apply the assert, right? So suppose you have some argument in the function, you are going to check those function, right? Okay, so so by that you can sure that this is a precondition things. But if any assert you are using after some calculation, that's the post condition things, right? Is it clear? Okay, so Matthew said assignment 4 due next week, right? Yes, it's April 12th. Okay, so you are also saying assignment is good. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Okay, so I think we got our result. So yes, 10 vote. 5. So someone is still voting. Can you wait for assignment 3 marks to come out, then decide? Uh, here, the markers will take time until Thursday. So I will request everyone to check your email regularly and also check your learn updates regularly. Okay, so maybe it can be happen that on, so you know that Monday is our last class, like next Monday is our last class, and I told you like I will review about the final things, right? But still maybe it can be happen that the final decision so far I have made, it will be on learn. Okay, it will not be on crowdmark, it will be on learn. And it will be a closed book or open book, like so to me I think it's better to have the open book. because there is no way we can control whenever it's closed book, you know that there is no way I can check like whether you are accessing any notes or not, right? Okay, so for that it will be for like most probably it will be open book. I will let you know on Monday for sure. uh, but the thing is that if it is open book, the question will be more challenging, right? Okay, so whenever you have the open book things, you know that I cannot just say anything that you can just copy and paste from your resources, right? Clear? So okay, so Colton said, yeah, I feel like raising the midterm would be better. What do you mean by that? Raising the midterm? I also like the midterm percent to be increased. Okay, I got the point now. What would increase the percentage of midterm since it's only 10%? Okay, so maybe I can create another poll then. For now, it seems like most of the people wants to increase the percentage of assignment. Okay, so okay, like 11 vote for yes, no for 7, and 6 no answer. Clear? Can it be a poll on Learn or something? I think so. I'm not 100% sure whether Learn has the option for poll or not. Assignment is already 25%. Yes. Maybe we can increase the midterm to 20% rather than 10%, and your final will be then 40%. This poll result, I can save it. I can also upload to your Learn also. Okay. Hopefully. Yeah, so it's given me a text file, so I can upload it. Okay, so maybe we can just create another poll then, just for like whether you guys are supporting or not. Is that so? Maybe in the chat box, can anyone like who is not supporting this, like not increasing the midterm, then we don't need to open the pool even. So is there anyone of you doesn't want to increase the midterm percentage and decrease the final percentage? Methods don't increase midterm. Okay, so let's create a poll then. It will be better. I think so. If you guys have time. So whenever I click polling, why it's just having the same thing again? Yeah, so don't comment anything there because so if you don't create a poll, so I cannot count like how many of you are saying yes or no by the chat box. Okay, so new poll, yes, I got it. New question. Do you support? That's a good idea. Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. Like there is only 20 people, so we cannot get the right idea. So let's close the poll. Okay. So what we will do, we'll for sure we can have some other way to get the result by Google Form or Google Docs, whatever. Okay. So I will create some poll and then we'll discuss it on Monday's class regarding the result of this poll. Okay. Uh, these are the people who actually come to the lecture though. Yeah, so anyway, so I think it will be fair like if I get the vote for everyone rather than only these so far 30 at best 30 people or 30 students, right? Yeah, so thank you for the suggestion, Sandra. Yeah, okay, but the other people will be affected by this, so they should be able to vote. Yes, for sure, that's why like we are not taking this vote even, like whatever you did the poll for the assignment things, we didn't take it. Okay, so I will create some link so that you guys can vote for sure. For there are two options, right? One is assignment, another is the midterm. For sure the lab we shouldn't increase that one. That's I think that's fair enough, like 15% I think. Let me open that our was. So your assignment is 50, labs is 15%. That should be, that is okay. Assignment 25%. I think that's okay. So what we can most probably maybe this one is better, like the only 10%. But we'll create some poll and we'll discuss this in Monday's class about the result of those polls. Clear? Any questions so far? Okay, so I still have my office hour today from 3 to 4. So if you have any kind of question or any problem, just take appointment by Young Learn. Okay, so stay safe, everyone. So it's very critical time. It's all of the cases nowadays is from the community spread things. So don't go outside if you don't need to. Okay, okay. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you guys on Monday then. Bye.